Hi everyone, welcome to today's class now. Today we're gonna see adoption, okay, in IFRS. So before that we have to know which standards do you get when you adapt. So what are the standards do you get when you adapt? So by this IFRS foundation only permits the requirements of the standards to be adapted into legislation if the IFRS requirements do not include additional material. So, which is based on a conclusion, implementation guidance, and illustrative examples. So, this distribution of the additional material which require a separate licenses. So, this is also true of the IFRS of from SME standards. Okay, so by this IFRS foundation will provide the requirements in the appropriate languages. So in an official translation which does not yet exist. So by this IFRS foundation will work with the appropriate entity to create it. So following the financial translation process. So first one we have to see what is adoption. So if the IFRS standards are required to more than 140 jurisdiction and permitted in the many part of the world, so which including South Korea, Brazil, European Union, India, Hong Kong, Australia, Malaysia, Pakistan, GCC countries and Russia, Chile, Philippines, South Africa, Singapore, Turkey. So to assess the progress towards the goal of a single set global accounting standards. So the IFRS Foundation has developed and posted profiles about the use of IFRS standards in individual jurisdiction. So these are based on the information from the various sources. So by this, the starting point was the responses provided by the standard setting and other relevant bodies to a survey that the IFRS Foundation conducted. So as of August 2019, the profiles were completed for 166 jurisdiction. So with the 144 jurisdiction required the use of IFRS standards. So due to the difficulty of maintaining up-to-date information in individual jurisdiction, so three sources of information in current worldwide, okay, this IFRS adoption are recommended. So by this the IFRS Foundation profile page and the World Bank, International Federation of Accountants. So by this R.J. Ball, so who described the expectation by the European Union and others that IFRS adoption worldwide would be beneficial to investors and other users of financial statements by reducing the cost of comparing investment opportunities and increasing the quality of information. So by this the companies are also expected to benefit as investors will be more willing to provide financing. So by this the companies that have high level IFRS standards in international activities, which are among the group that would benefit from a switch to IFRS standards. So by this company that are involved in a foreign activities and investing benefit from the switch due to increased comparability of the set accounting standard. So however, this are Ray J. Ball, so who has expressed some skepticism, okay, so of the overall cost of international standards, he argues that the enforcement of a standards could be lax. So by this regional differences in accounting could become the obscured behind a label. So he also expressed concerns about their fair value emphasis of a IFRS and the influence of accountants from non-common law regions. So where these losses have been recognized in less timely manner. Okay. Then what is IFRS? So we already seen what is IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. These are a set of accounting standards which is developed by IASB, International Accounting Standards Board. So that is becoming the global standard for the preparation of a public company financial statements. Okay. And the next one is how widespread is the adoption IFRS around the world. So how the spread will be. So approximately the 120 nations reporting jurisdiction which permit to require IFRS for the domestic listed companies. Although approximately 90 countries have fully confirmed the IFRS as promulgated by IASB. So which include a statement acknowledging such conformity in audit reports. Okay, so what is the possibility of the Securities Exchange Commission substituting IFRS for GAAP? So for this, for many years, the SEC, okay, Securities Exchange Commission, so which has been expressing its support for a core of setting accounting standards, so that could serve as a framework for a financial reporting. So in cross border offerings on a February 2010-24, okay. So this Security Exchange Commission, so which issued a release on 33919. Okay, this is a number. So this commission statement in the support of convergence in global accounting standard. So by this is combined with the competition of a previous agreed upon once upon the convergence of a projects which be FASB and IASB. So which will permit the SEC to make a determination. So by this July 13, 2012, the SEC tab, okay, who issued the financial staff report on the work plan for the consideration of incorporating international financial reporting. So by this, the standard into financial reporting system for US issuers, the report didn't recommend a specific course of action. So the final decision regarding whether to incorporate IFRS into a financial reporting system for US issuers. So now rest with the SEC commissioners. So there are currently no estimated date for when such a decision might be made. And the next one is, what are the advantages of converting to IFRS? So what are the advantages? So by adapting IFRS, a business can present its financial statements on its same basis as it's a foreign competitors, so which making comparisons easily. So by this, the furthermore companies with subsidiaries in a countries, so which require or a permit IFRS may be able to use one accounting language company wide. So by this, the companies also may need to convert to IFRS if they are subsidiary of a foreign company that must use IFRS. So if they have a foreign investors, that must be IFRS. So these companies may also benefit by using IFRS if they wish to raise capital abroad. And the next question, what could be the disadvantages of converting IFRS? So what is the disadvantages? So despite on a behalf by some of the inevitability, okay, so of the global acceptance of IFRS, so which other believe that US gap in a gold standard. So and a certain level of quality will be lost with the full acceptance of IFRS. So this further, this certain US issuers without a significant customer or operations outside the United States may resist IFRS because they may not have a market incentive to prepare IFRS standards or statements. So by this, they may believe that significant costs are associated with the adopting IFRS overweight the benefits. And the next, what is the difference between a convergence and adoptions? So by this, the adoption would mean the SEC, okay, Securities Exchange Commission. So with a sets a specific timetable when a publicly listed companies would be required IFRS. So which is issued by IASB, okay. So this convergence means that US Financial Accounting Standards Board, so which is the IASB, would continue working together to develop high quality compatible accounting standards over time. So the more convergence will make adoption easier, so because are less costly and may even make adoption of IFRS unnecessary. So by this, the supporters of adoption, however, believe that convergence alone will never eliminate all the differences between the two sets of standards. So by this 2011, the SEC staff, okay, who introduced a possible method of incorporating IFRS into the US financial reporting system, so that would represent an endorsement and convergence approach for aligning US GAAP, so with the IFRS over a period of time. So by this, ultimately, the expectation is that SEC will make a determination on whether it will incorporate IFRS into financial reporting system, so for a US issuers. And if it decides to incorporate IFRS, the method of incorporations. And the next one is, who are the key players in the United States regarding the development and adoption of IFRS? So the key players. So who are means Security Exchange Commissions. Okay. So which is responsible for the supervision and regulation of a securities industry and has oversight responsibility for the FASB. So by this, the Financial Accounting Standard Board, an independent body that interprets US GAAP, so which is IASB, so which is working with the IFASB on the convergence of US GAAP and IFRS. So based on this, AICPA has provided thought leadership to the IASB and FASB on a financial reporting topics. And the next one is, have any major US companies begun transitioning to IFRS? So until the Securities Exchange Commission issues a rule allowing or requiring US public commissions to adopt IFRS, so they must continue to prepare their financial statements under US GAAP. So by this, several large multinational corporations, however, have started IFRS for their foreign subsidiaries where allowed by local law. So also some US subsidiaries of foreign owned companies are also using IFRS. And the next heading is, when comparing IFRS and GAAP, what are some overall key differences I should be aware of? So by this, the biggest difference is the IFRS provides fewer details. Rules, US GAAP, IFRS also contains limited industry specific guidance. So which means what the guidance which they have followed. And the next one is, what are examples of specific differences between IFRS and US GAAP? So by this, because of long-standing convergence projects between IASB and IFASB, the extent of a specific difference between IFRS and a gap, so which has been shrinking. So yet significant differences too remain, most of one of which can result in significantly different reported results. So by this, depending on a company industry and individual facts and circumstances. So for example, if IFRS does not permit last in LIFO, okay, last in first out. So then IFRS uses single step method for a impairment write downs rather than two-step methods in a US gap. So which making write downs more likely. Then IFRS require capitalization of development cost once the certain qualifying criteria are met. But the US gap generally require development costs which to be expensed as a incurred. So which expect for cost related to the development of computer services, for which capitalization is required once the certain criteria are met. And the next one is this possible conversion to IFRS from a US GAAP solely a financial reporting issue? So because the conversion to IFRS is much more than accounting exercise. So it will affect many aspects of a US company operations, from information technology systems and tax reporting requirements to internal reporting and key performance metrics and tracking of stock based compensation. Okay. The next one, what other areas of profession will IFRS affect? So because as IFRS grows in acceptance, so more CPA financial statement prepares, the auditors will have to become knowledgeable about the international standards. So which others such as actuaries and valuation experts who are engaged by management to assist in measuring certain assets and liabilities. So these are not currently taught IFRS and will have to undertake comprehensive training. So by this, the professional association and industry groups have begun to integrate IFRS into their training materials. So this publication testing and certification programs and many colleges, universities are including IFRS in their curricula. Some textbooks are already covering IFRS, which is primary in comparative presentation to the instruction on US GAAP. And the next one, what actions are being taken that could allow private companies to follow the IFRS? So this AICPA, so which is governing council, okay? One sec. So this AICPA means the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Okay, this is a non-profit professional organization, so which is certified by public accountants in the United States. Okay, so this AICPA means American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Okay. So based on this board of examiners in May 2009, which is announced that exam content which updates has been developed in IFRS become eligible for testing on a uniform CPA exam from a 2011. Okay. And the next one, in adoption. So, what might make some private companies in the United States adopt IFRS? So, this one we already seen. The IASB has developed a version of IFRS for a small and medium size entities. So, by this would minimize the complexity and reduce the cost of financial statement preparation, and yet allow users for those entities financial statement to assess financial position, cash flows, performance. Based on this, the even full adoption of IFRS by small businesses, okay, so which are not profit organization, is likely to market driven. So by this financial position, cash flow, performance, excuse me. So by this IFRS for a small medium sized entities, the IFRS was released on So which was released on July 9, 2009. Okay. And the next one is, so will IFRS be incorporated into the uniform CPA exam? So which means this is AICPA Board of Examiners. Okay. So in May 2009, which announced that exam content updates has been developed, IFRS became eligible for testing on the uniform CPA exam from 2011. Okay. And the next topic is overcoming the challenges of IFRS adoption with a smart contracts. Excuse me. So by this overcoming is, it is critical for enterprises to standardize their financial processes, especially accounting auditing, to be on par with the leading global counterparts. So which is International Financial Reporting Standards and commonly known as IFRS. So which enable a business to maintain a global standard for a financial reporting. So which provides a guidelines for a business to streamline transaction, the statement and reporting to achieve comparability, verifiability, timeliness and understandability of the financial data across the globe. So the adoption of IFRS B enterprises require them to transform their existing local account and audit mechanisms. So by this, however, it becomes a critical for enterprise to maintain productivity with uninterrupted financial operations during the transformation process. The next one is existing challenge. So existing challenge known as, this IFRS became an accounting auditing benchmark with a growing relevance of international businesses. So by this, this foreign investment and cross-border listing adoption of IFRS is a gradual, because the enterprises face several technical challenges. So by implementing the standards in which the administrators, the major hurdles which are followed in existing challenges means, difficulties in preventing malpractices and external influences, which is politicization. So which is politicization and in accounting and auditing. Okay. And the next one is inconsistent adoption of IFRS due to lack of coordination, so during the review and enforcement processes. And the next one is a failure of auditors to create a statements that are by the latest IFRS updates. And the next one, rise of disruption, the risk of disruption in existing process, which lead the long term and short term impact on a business goals. And next one is a lack of technically efficient mechanism, so which is to implement IFRS compliant financial reporting systems. And the next one is a digital perspective on IFRS implementation. What is the perspective? Okay, perspective. So based on this accounting and auditing have evolved from a paper-based responsibilities. So digital application in a framework. So by this, the enterprises that want to achieve the global objectives require adhere to IFRS with in-depth algorithm, which is the customization of financial application, and strong programming skills are essential for achieving the required level of customization. So which additionally the existing system that depend on internet and database technology and the technical limitations of obstinacy, centralization. So these limitations are, and the need for complicated programming are critical barriers for developing IFRS compliant accounting and audit applications. So by this IFRS provide universal guidelines for accounting and audit that are consistent across the globe. So because the mechanism to adopt IFRS needs a new technology and a platform that supports the approach objective of these standards. So by this, the platform must be enabled synchronization, availability, authenticity, security, accessibility of a data across the networks of financial administrations. And the next heading is smart contract and blockchain technology. So which means a small contract and application blockchain technology is a technical solution to implement IFRS efficiently. Because a small contract is a digital version of agreement or a contract with a self executable. Okay, so the mechanism behind the technology is simple. So the agreement watch with a predefined set of parameters. So these parameters are immutable unless there is a change in a coding of a contract. So a new smart contract will replace the existing one to change the parameters of the agreements. So it's in the research highlighted the impact of a blockchain technology in accounting and auditing. So by this, the technology has a strong impact on a record keeping process, improvement of a business models, and changing the role and skills of CPA auditors. And the next one is addressing IFRS compliance challenges with the smart contract services. So, which means this implementation of IFRS is about improving the capability, verifiability, timeliness, and understandability of a financial information. So, in terms of a relevance and representation. So, by this, the blockchain technology, so which revolves around similar parameters of auditability, transparency, and controlled accessibility in the high secure environment. The smart contract has a potential to implement the IFRS effectively because it addresses the current challenges of its adoption. So by this, a smart contract ensures complete security against external influences. So it is digital implementation of predefined terms and agreements that are immutable. So this mechanism can implement algorithm of accounting and audit in complete adherence to IFRS. Based on the smart contract, eradicates and possibility of malpractices and external influence in the adoption of IFRS by automating the process of accounting and auditing. So by this once programmed to implement IFRS compliant, auditing and accounting processes, the smart contract with a self-executive operations without external output. So the smart contract together with distributed ledger technologically, so which enables fair and even implementation of the accounting process. So which can be guaranteed consistent of IFRS implementation as the mechanism is deployed over the entire enterprise networks, which involved auditing and accounting. So the technology addresses the issue of a lack of coordination in enforcing the standard across the entire process of accounting in the enterprises. And mainly the technology streamlines, okay, which is in online, the implementation of IFRS updates across an enterprises. So because this IASB updates IFRS regularly as per the changing requirements of international businesses. The swift adoption of these changes in an international internal accounting process, so which is not practical with the legacy accounting technologies. A smart contract solves this issue by operating a single mechanism for different accounting processes as per their requirements. So which is the programming of a smart contract to perform according to the latest IFRS updates. So which used to ensure even implementation across very financial reporting in a network of the business. And the next one is the fintech technology is a gradually adoption blockchain technology. So based on this, the advantage of implementing blockchain is a compatibility with the legacy enterprise platform. Okay, so it does not cause any major disruption to existing operations for adopting this blockchain. So it acts as a secure layer, an encrypted network that decentralizes the data over the existing system. So by this, the process of adapting small contract, smart contract to implement IFRS, which does not lead to major disruption. So it reduces the possibility of a negative impact in short term while successfully implementing IFRS. So which used to blockchain technology is steadily gaining recognition as a next generation enterprise technology. So which is advantageous for enterprises to align their long term goals with blockchain. So this blockchain and smart contract development services provide several operational advantage over the existing application of accounting. So based on this blockchain is the appropriate technology to implement IFRS because of its radical alignment with the objective of the latter. So transparency, accountability, efficiency are a basic advantage of both blockchain and IFRS. And the next one is develop smart contract based on quantum computing. So what it means our smart contract development services for efficient IFRS adoption. So by this, what we have to see. So we can develop smart contract. So okay, the obstacles. Okay, what are the obstacles? So based on this, see, okay. So first one, develop a smart contract based on a quantum computing. So by this, we can develop smart contract using any blockchain technology. So which meets your specific business requirements. So with this, Eternal Virtual Machine is among the most common tools to create a small contract using a Solidity program for accounting. So based on this, encoding the program as per the standards of IFRS will address the adoption challenges. So for a business that are oriented towards fit and still a smart contract which can develop an efficient accounting platforms. So to implement the IFRS standards. So it is necessary to evaluate specific functionalities of accounting, auditing requirements of the business to select an appropriate blockchain platform. So if you are interested in adapting IFRS with a digital accounting platform based on a smart choice, then contact for a free consultation. Okay, so then the objective of IFRS is to bring consistency to financial reporting processes, so across the borders, across the countries. So this blockchain solution like a smart contracts provide a secure mechanism to indicate, process, authorize, record and report transactions. So by this, financial institutions are adapting blockchain solutions which aggressively because of its practical advantage, so which in achieving operational efficiency, cross-border transactions. Several enterprises are in early stages of adoption. So others have implemented partially. Many businesses have completely adapted the standards. So by this, the implementing blockchain solution to adapt IFRS, which makes auditing accounting process more efficient and transparent too. So by this blockchain not only makes internal processes, so which consist but also improves the global adoption. Mainly, next one is obstacles to IFRS adoption. What are the obstacles? What are the disadvantages, or what are the obstacles? Okay, excuse me. And the next one is obstacles to IFRS adoption. So obstacles means what are the barriers? Okay, what are the block? What is in a barrier in IFRS adoption? So what are the hurdles? Okay, so by this, the obstacles are mainly, see this diagram pie chart. Okay, so the mainly total cost of complexity of conversion is of 43. Okay, so based on this, the first one, okay, IFRS are not viewed as a being as acceptable in as US by investors and analysts. So in US gap, investors non analysts not accepting the IFRS well, so that it has an 18 percentage obstacle. And for the lack of consistent of IFRS application globally. So once US is accepted, the globally it will finish off. US not accepting the IFRS now, so that it is a lack. There is no IFRS application globally, so that it's a 13. Okay, and the next one is IFRS are not comprehensive as a US, because US is more comprehensive, so which is very easy, which is very less time, and also which is very less money, which is less money. For IFRS, we have to invest for our IFRS adaptation to we have to invest more. So it is a extra. Okay, so that the IFRS are not comprehensive as a US gap. This is a 9 percentage. And the next one, competition does not use an IFRS. Okay, so for IFRS there is no competition. If the competition exists also, there is no issues, no change. If the competition, no competition means no change. So there is no change if the competition arises too. So it is an 9 percentage. And the other barriers or follows in 8 percentage. So totally it will finish in obstacles. Other than obstacles, it has a 43 percentage of total cost and complexity of conversion. Okay. So by this unit is over. Unit 5. Okay. Please go through your materials. If any doubts, please ask me in a WhatsApp. Okay. I'm ready to help you. We'll see you on the next class with some examples of problems. Till take care. Thank you.